And function. If you have a follow-up question, please ask it following your first. Start with Ryan Archibald, TSN.
Adam, what, in your mind, what are the most important things for your group to accomplish between now and when the regular season ends? I mean, outside of trying to win the games that you have, as a group, what do you need to get done between now and then?
Well, I think to feel that we're ready, first of all. And then there's a couple of aspects in the game that we would like to have in order going into the playoffs. So it's we're working our way there, working to get all the pieces in place here before the playoffs starts.
Adam, I mean, when this does start, you guys will obviously get asked a lot of questions about the bubble last year and what happened. As a group, do you guys have a philosophy on how to handle that? Like, would you just rather not talk about it? You shy away from it? Do you sit there and answer the questions honestly? Like, how do you face last year's result heading into this year?
Well, I don't know if I think this year is complete different. You're going in, you have the whole regular season behind you. You're not coming off a 3-month break, and I mean, this is just the feeling. You kind of continue the good things you've done throughout the year without a break. So I feel like this is a little different.
Dirk Van Dies, Post Media.
Hey, Adam, with the playoff spot already clinched, I guess, and Connor going for his 100th point, how much would it mean to the team for him to get to that goal, and how much do you guys want to help him try and get to that milestone?
Yeah, we would like to help him as much as we can. I mean, I don't know where he's sitting at right now, but I know he's pretty close. So, I mean, I think it would be a cool milestone for him to reach 100 on a season like this. So we'll do our best to help him out here.
Does that help with motivation going into these final few games when everything's pretty much?
Yeah, I mean, we would like to get our game in place, and that's what we're focusing on. And I mean, if Connor keeps playing the way he is, that the other stuff will kind of take care of itself. I mean, we got a strong group here with big belief systems, so we want to get our game going, and if he just keep playing like he is, he will. I'm pretty confident he will reach it.
Rob Tychkowski, Post Media.
Adam, yeah, talking about, the strong game and a belief system. You guys are like 14-4-2 in your last 20, which is pretty crazy. As this season goes on and you kind of sense that it's not really a hot streak, it's who you are, does it almost change the way you view yourselves a little bit heading into the playoffs and what you're capable of accomplishing?
Yeah, I mean, talking back to that belief system, I mean, we'd had a rough start this year. And we kind of bowed back from that, and we had a couple tough stretches, but we didn't dig ourselves in too deep of a hole. So, I mean, the will, the belief, and I mean, it's such a unique group we have this year, I feel like. So it's, I don't know, sky's the limit, but I know also that the page is turning in the playoffs. It doesn't matter what you do in the regular season. It's time to go to work.
Just on another note, there was some pretty good mayhem last night in between the Rangers and Capitals. So as a player in the league who sees that, what do you think when that stuff's going down, and to what extent is intimidation and retribution still an element in this league?
Well, I think it's you always see your team stand up for you and stand up for yourself. I mean, I don't want to comment too much on that. That's why we have the league to take care of that. So it's nice to see that your teammates are standing up for one another.
Daniel Nugent-Bowman, The Athletic.
Hi, Adam. I apologize if you were asked anything similar. I had a little trouble logging on here, but you've been, knock wood, you've been healthy this year, and you had some trouble with health last year. How much has that helped you have the season that you've had this year, being healthy?
Well, a lot. I mean, it starts with the rhythm in the games. Starts with not a whole lot of breaks, which helps you stay confident. I mean, it's just overall everything. You get into games easier. You know how you're supposed to play, and you know your role in the team. So I mean, I felt good going into last year too, but unfortunately my injury, the first game there, kind of made a little setback. So I've seen it. I felt good for at least 2 years here. So it's not surprised really.
You said you talk about getting into that rhythm. Do you feel like maybe this is the best you've played in this uniform in Edmonton so far? This year, that is.
I mean, it's hard. It's hard to tell. I mean, obviously I've had some ups and downs, both personally and physically. So it's this year has been good. We have a lot of fun, and I really enjoy it. So it's that helps too.
Thank you. If there are no more questions, this concludes Adam Larsson's media availability. Please stay tuned for Josh Archibald and Dave Tippett.
Thank you.
Archibald reach, shot, score, and Edmonton strikes twice in a span of 28 seconds.
Please use the raise hand function. Start with Derek Van Diest, Post Media.
Morning, Dave.
Morning.
These last few games here, it looks like you're going to try and rotate some guys in that haven't got a chance to play. Is that kind of the game plan? Is to maybe see some guys that have been out for a while to give them some playing action here?
Just trying to get everybody, make sure everybody's involved here this last little bit. As we go on here, you'll see more of a less fluctuation in the lineup as we move forward after tonight's game.
And when it comes to Connor's playing time, does that him going for that milestone play any part of it at all, or is it just how are you going to kind of play him going down the stretch when it comes to his minutes?
No, we'll continue to play him. He wants to play. He wants to make sure his game's ready for the playoffs. So we'll not overtax him, but we'll make sure we're not going to abnormally hold him out or hold his minutes way down either. You know, there's parts of the game that he wants to work on, and there's parts of our game our team needs to work on. He's a big part of that, so he'll play accordingly, depending on depending how the games go too.
Thanks, Dave.
Ryan Rashog, TSN.
Yeah, Dave, what is your philosophy? And I'm not sure if you've done it in the past, but let's say a spot is locked up and there's no more room for movement. You guys play a reasonable number of games before the end of the year. Have you traditionally rested players in the past, or do you leave it up to them, or how do you handle that?
There's the odd time, depending on some injury bumps, and you might have a guy that's banged up a little bit that would be playing normally, but you might give him a day off. But the days of resting guys don't want days off. They want to keep playing, and you have to keep your team engaged and playing. I'm not a big fan of resting guys and then you think you're just going to pick it up again in playoffs. That's not the way it works. You got to keep your game pushing ahead. You got to, every day you work on your game. You make sure that things are in place for when you go into the playoffs, you feel good about your game. So we're not going to sit here and just rest guys and pull guys out and allow our team to go flat and then try to pick it up again. We're going to keep pushing our group.
And on this, McDavid chasing 100 points, you're getting asked a lot of questions about it, understandably so. I mean, Connor's not making a big deal of it. His teammates have said it's important to them. As a coach, do you just sort of just not do anything to get in the way of him having the opportunity to do that? And really, there's no reason you would have to get in the way at all?
I'm going to play him. I'm going to play him like normal. He's determined. He wants to be the leader. We're talking about getting our team game in order. He's the leader of that. He wants to keep pushing that way. He knows his responsibility on our team, and he just wants to keep playing. If the 100 points happens, it happens. If not, it's. I don't think it's a big deal to him. But our focus on our group is making sure our team game is in order. I'm sure his teammates in there would love to see him, get 100 points. That's just being a good teammate. I mean, those are things that they recognize what Connor does for our team. So they'd love him to get the 100 point. But our main focus, and I know Connor's main focus, is making sure our team is playing well going to the playoffs.
Jim Matheson, Post Media.
Dave, is there any chance that Cassian will be ready to start the playoffs?
He's skating. He's skating on his own right now, so we'll continue to monitor it. He's making good progress. I wouldn't say he's ahead of schedule yet, but he's certainly on schedule, and we'll see where it gets to.
Well, is that going to be a concern? Because, like I said, he's not even going to maybe get a game in, and all of a sudden the playoffs are starting, and it's ramped up even more than it would be towards the end of the season.
Well, we're not going to throw him in a position where we're not sure where he's at. He's going to have to be 100% healthy to jump in there and play, and we'll just monitor that, see where he's at come playoff time.
And Cuckoo, can he play a game maybe in Montreal?
He's still, the doctors saw him last week, and he was still a week or 10 days. They did a scan and on his collarbone to see where it was, and they wanted to give it another week or so, so we'll monitor that next week to see where he's at.
Thank you.
Rob Pichkowski, Post Media.
Hey, Dave, just one from me. Does seeing the way Bouchard came in after such a long time off maybe change the way you look at possibly deploying him down the future? Is there a chance that he could play his way into the equation, moving into the playoffs, or is that too much to ask for a young kid who hasn't played?
We'll see. We've liked our three right guys that are there. They've played fairly well, so we'll see where it goes. But these next few games, Bouchard was a regular recall, so he's available to us at any time now, and we'll see how it goes. But our main focus right now is getting our team wrapped up that with the lineup that we think is going to play in the playoffs to start with, and barring an injury, I would anticipate the three guys on the right there starting.
Right. Are you, as the season goes, I know I said one, here comes two, but as it goes on, are you seeing like so-called playoff type performers emerge down the stretch here that you look at and see, okay, that's a guy who's going to be there for us when the bullets start flying?
Well, yeah, you have certain expectations of players, and some of it is experience, some of it is just how they're playing now. That we've done a lot of tinkering here the last month or so, and we feel like our team is, we can set up our lineup different ways to kind of maximize what we have. So it's you're always talking about every day, how do you go and win the next game, and that's our focus today. But you're also recognizing that you got to get your team ready for a playoff series. So those are all factors we think about every day.
Daniel Nunja-Bowman, The Athletic.
There we go. Hi, Dave. I just wanted to piggyback there off of Rob's first question, in particular with Evan Bouchard, but more about the defense as a whole. I mean, how comfortable are you with the depth of this defense? I mean, you have Caleb Jones, who's been in and out of the lineup, who played regularly mostly last year, and all sorts of guys. How comfortable do you feel like if you need to throw some of these guys into the fire in the playoffs that they can handle the job?
I'm very comfortable with them. We've got players that have played a lot of games this year. On the left side, we've got Chris Russell that hopefully will be healthy come playoff time. You got Cuckoo coming back. Lagesson has played enough for us. On the other side, you got Bouch. We've got good options back there if we do run into an injury situation. I like our depth on our defense.
And as it pertains to Chris Russell, do you think he can get into some regular season games before the season ends?
We'll see. He's not skating yet. He's going to start skating tomorrow, I think, so we'll see where it goes next week.
Thank you.
Ryan Archibald.
Dave, not sure if you'll clarify for us or not, but what will your third D pair look like tonight? Do you go back to Bouchard, or is there a switch there?
No, Jones and Bear will play tonight.
Okay, and on the goaltenders, because of the compressed schedule, I think there's a chance you'll have some back-to-backs in your playoff series. If that's the case, do you want to keep both goalies engaged right up until the end of the year? Because, you know, it might not be able to be, you know, one guy because of these potential for back-to-backs in the playoffs, which is a little unusual.
We have a plan for our goaltenders the rest of the year, you know, barring any injury or whatever. We have a plan for them and going into the playoffs, and we don't know a playoff schedule yet, so I'm not going to tell you what we're going to do because you don't know, right? But I think we have a plan in place for the rest of the games this year, and keep both guys will be up and running, and they'll both be available in the playoffs.
I don't think you'd tell me even if you did know your playoff schedule, would you?
No, but I don't know it, so I'm good. I'm not lying.
Fair.
I have no idea what it is.
All good.
Thank you. If there are no more questions, this concludes Dave Tippett's media availability. Please stay tuned for Josh Archibald.
Clock the zone. Finn Archibald reach shot score, and Edmonton strikes twice in a span of 28 seconds to turn a 2-1 deficit into a 3-2 lead. Archibald.
Again, if you have questions, please use the raise hand function. Start with Marty Klinkenberg, Globe and Mail.
Hi, Josh. You know, the other night, Leon Draisaitl, after a game, said that, you know, when he was asked about Connor's kind of quest here to reach 100 points, you know, he said that he thinks it's more, you know, it's more important to, or more significant to Connor's teammates than to Connor himself. I was wondering if you feel that way and if you could explain that.
Yeah, it's a pretty incredible feat for him. But, you know, I think as a person and as a player, he's more worried about helping us and helping the team win. You know, the points are just something that comes along with it. But for us to be able to help him get to 100, you know, we'll do everything we can. But at the same point, he's looking at the big picture, and we are all too.
Thank you very much, Josh.
Jim Matheson, Post Media.
Josh, you're always on the ice with an empty net staring you in the face along with Connor and Leon. Was that the way it was before when you were in Arizona as well, or is this just something that's happened in Edmonton?
No, I was a part of that too. I think it just comes along with killing penalties. You know, they got the extra guy out there, so it's a similar situation. But you know, you just got to work hard, and it's nice to be out there. When you get the chances, and especially when you're on the ice with those two guys, things can happen. And we've been lucky lately, and you know, early on in the year, so it's been fun so far.
When you've got an empty net, do you have to walk a line between not letting the other team score, and you see an empty net staring you in the face? Is there always a walk the line? Looks like, oh, I got a chance to score a goal here or set up somebody, but also got to stop the other team from tying the game?
Yeah, I think it's a fun situation. Obviously, you know, you take care of the defensive zone, the offensive zone will take care of itself. So, you know, whether you get a good block shot or, you know, our defense make a good play to get the puck out, you get the puck in Leo or Dave's hands, and things kind of take care of itself. But it's definitely a fun situation to be in, especially when you're up by a goal and you're fighting to score another one or keep the puck out of your net. So it's a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Derek Van Diest, Post Media.
Hey, Josh, I just want to ask you about your versatility, your ability to play up and down the lineup. I guess, is that something that you kind of developed in your time here in the NHL, and is that something that kind of will keep you in the league for a long time?
Yeah, hopefully I'm here for a long time and here to stay, but it's you got to do something different to get into the league. We all can't be goal scorers, and I had to find my niche, being physical, killing penalties, getting pucks out of our zone, just being sound defensively and, being an energy guy. And that's what's got me here. But to be able to chip in offensively, it's obviously nice to help the team that way too.
And heading down the stretch here, I guess, as an individual player, how do you kind of gear up for the playoffs? How do you kind of sharpen your game to be ready to go when the playoffs start?
Yeah, I think it's just it's the little things. You work so hard in the summer and all season long, and we put ourselves in a great position. Step one's done. We're in the playoffs. Now it's just bearing down, getting the little things right, just fine tuning our game, and I think it'll be a good outcome.
Daniel Nugent-Bowman, The Athletic.
Hi, Josh. I remember you saying a few weeks back, and maybe I'm not phrasing this completely correctly, but that you weren't thrilled or with the work that the penalty kill had been doing, or there was room for improvement. How do you feel in recent weeks it's gone, and as you kind of prepare for the playoffs here?
Yeah, I think we've definitely taken a big step in the right direction. Obviously, we're still fine-tuning things, like I said, but at the same time, we're head and shoulders above where we were at the beginning of the year, and I think that's just kudos to, our coaching staff and the players that are on the penalty kill. Obviously, we did struggle, and we took it upon ourselves to just get back at it and get things back to where they're supposed to be, and, we're moving in the right directions going into playoffs.
I just wonder, you haven't been with the organization a long time here, but I just wonder how you feel like this team is different compared to the one that you walked into, September 19 now. How you feel this team has probably improved and moved along here?
I think just the maturity in the locker room. We're a really young team, but just the fact, the maturity that those young guys have that bring to the table, they don't show it on the ice. You should see them off the ice in the locker rooms. Obviously, we've got some older guys, Smitty, Neeler, that they're good vocalists off the ice. But I think just from when I first walked into the locker room till now, there's the maturity level, and the way we play the game and the way we handle ourselves is a lot different now than it was then.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. If there are no more questions, this concludes today's media availability. Thank you.
It's the game. 4-3 Edmonton in Here's one, the battle, tries to Larsson will force it into the